You are more than welcome to stay there for an hour if that's what you're feeling today. Depending on your activity level from the weekend might dictate what you need today. Mine was Busch Gardens yesterday. So I would like to join you in Shavasana for an hour. But it is wild, right? I was thinking on the way here, just being around that kind of activity and noise and, and how do, I don't know, like how I was able to be in that craziness, but yet maintain just this kind of calmness and, finding that balance of, that we can enjoy both different levels. So come to your back. And we won't be here too long. So just without, surrendering or sinking too deeply, the theme kind of this month is this connection with the earth, this connection with the transition of seasons, and how as we move into spring and we welcome longer days, more light, and how that can feed us. So winter is typically a time when we are more stagnant. I know it's a little different in Florida, but our body still moves similarly to other places where you can tell that the seasons are changing a little bit more than down here in Florida. But the essence is the same. So what seed did you plant over the winter that now with this new light, this new energy, can you bring to life? So in starting on our backs this morning, think of it maybe as the big melt, that you're melting away that stagnant energy from the winter. And that as we move in our practice this morning, want to take this one? As we move in our practice this morning, maybe think in terms of a seed that is lifting up out of the earth. With your eyes closed, take a deeper inhale. Feel the body rise and fall with your breath, with your inhale and your exhale. Tune in a little bit more to your breath, to the movement of your breath. Drawing the focus to your inhales and your exhales. By doing that, letting the mind settle and only being here in the present moment. See if you can allow the rest of your day's activities to just melt away. Try not to lean forward into the next moment or lean backward into the last moment, but just be here. Use your awareness to scan your body. Feel where you can soften. So part of yoga is the essence of yoking mind, body, soul. Seeing if there are glimmers of or moments where we're moving past just the physical part of the practice. Touching the mental and the spiritual part. In doing that, then we're bringing together, we're yoking mind, body, and soul, getting a sense of our whole body as one. Start to deepen the breath. Take a deep breath and let it out with an audible sigh out through the mouth. Nice. Another one just like that. Deep inhale. Slowly let the eyes open. Reconnect with the space. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle the wrists and ankles. Inhale, arms overhead. Take a nice long stretch. Point your toes. Let the natural arch form in your back. Exhale, lowering the arms, drawing the knees into your chest. Rock from side to side a little bit. Roll onto your right side. Make your way up to a comfortable seat. Crossing your legs, coming to Sukhasana. If the knees aren't naturally coming down to the mat, you can use your blocks to support them on either side. But focus right now on finding a tall spine. So sitting up where our spine feels like it's lengthening, almost like the stalk of a little flower coming up through the soil. And close your eyes here and bring your hands to your heart center. Taking a moment to set your intention for your practice this morning, giving your practice direction. Thinking about what it is that you want to bring this renewed seasonal energy to. Dedicate your practice out to a loved one or to all beings everywhere. Then we'll open with the sound of Om. Take a full inhale, exhale it all the way out. And then inhale. Om. And flickering the eyes open again. Take the arms, float them up overhead. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms to face up. So lengthening here, taking any arch out of your back. Looking straight ahead. See if you can root down through your sits bones just a little bit more while lengthening the spine. Another inhale, and then on your exhale, let the arms come out to the side, flex your hands, and press through your palms. So those sensations that you might be feeling across the arms, this is to counter all of our texting. Take the arms behind just a little bit out of your peripheral vision. Breathe into that opening of the chest and heart space. If you feel the shoulders scrunching up by the ears, see if you can soften them. And then sweep the arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, extend your arms, and gently let your chin move toward your chest. Feel your chest lift a little higher on your inhale. On your exhale, see if you can lift your arms away from your back a little bit. Draw your shoulder blades toward each other and down your back. We do that motion a lot in a lot of our poses, drawing our shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. It helps to draw the shoulders away from the ears. And release, float the arms up overhead. Twist to the right. Dropping right hand behind the back, left hand coming to the knee. But focus on twisting from your navel up. So the hips are facing forward still. Both sits bones are grounding, rooting down. So in all of our asana poses, we're rooting down somewhere. So in our seated postures, it's through the sits bones, through our seat. Inhale, float the arms up through center, over to the left. In our standing poses, we're rooting down through four corners in our feet. And this connection, this grounding that we're making helps balance us, helps us to feel the connection with the earth, knowing that we are energy, made up of energy, just like the earth is. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Float them down, hands to the knees, and then round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Seated cat pose. On your inhale, lift the crown of the head, gaze looking up, tilt your tailbone out just a little bit, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin to your chest, cat pose. Inhale one more time through seated cow, open across the heart space. And exhale, rounding the spine, tucking your chin to your chest. Come to neutral and rock forward, taking hands and knees, tabletop. Find your alignment here. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Your knees are in line with your hips. Shoulders in line with elbows and wrists. And now draw your belly button in. So drawing the navel in helps to neutralize the spine. Keep that engagement as you lift the crown of your head. Tilt your tailbone up, coming into cow pose. And exhale, lifting the back up, rounding the spine, tucking your chin to chest, and tucking your tailbone in now. Cat. Inhale through to cow. And exhale to cat pose. See if you can exaggerate the movement a little bit and elongate the breath as you move through this warm up for our spine. Inhale into cow pose and exhale into cat. One more, inhale through to cow. Cow and cat's a great way to see how we match our breath with our movement, which is what we want to try and do through the whole practice. Extend your right leg back behind you, come on your toe, and then drop your heel down to the mat. It's not going to touch, but it's to stretch the back of that right leg. And then inhale, rock forward, no weight on the toe, just rocking forward and back to deepen that stretch in the calf muscle of the right leg. And then on your next inhale, rocking forward, lift that right leg up. Focus on leveling out your hips. So drawing that right hip in line with the left, nice. Flex the right foot and press the heel to the windows, feeling that lengthening of that right leg. You can stay here or add the left arm, lifting it up by the ear. So this is working your core. So really engage the muscles in the core, in your navel area. And have your gaze looking down at the mat so the neck is an extension of the spine. Lower the left hand, sweep the right leg across the left. So coming into a little bit of a twist here. Keep your shoulders squared forward and now turn your head to look over the left shoulder. Find your big toe of your right foot. Feel that opening on the right side. Stretch for the hip flexor on the left side. One more full inhale. And exhale, sweeping that leg back to center, bringing it to meet the left. And now take your knees wide. Toes come together. Push your seat back to your heels for child's pose. Arms extended. Let's keep it a little active. So keep your arms straight and reaching out in front of you. Palms on the mat. Forehead maybe drops to the mat, or if that's a little too much, you can put a block under your forehead. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the rise and the fall of the belly here. Different than when we're on our backs. As we tune into our breath, we're helping to set the condition for our body to release tension. One more full inhale and exhale, and inhale to lift up to tabletop, and we'll do the other side. Extend the left leg back and then drop your heel down to the mat. Feeling the stretch for the back of the left leg. Breathe in, breathe out. Rock forward and back, or you could just stay with your heel down, whichever's more comfortable for you. We try and say there's no right or wrong necessarily as far as the modifications you make in your practice. Take that left leg up, level your hips. Take a moment to flex that left foot and press the heel back so you feel the lengthening of that left leg. Finding your balance here, lifting right arm up, coming into our spinal balance. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, reaching through the right fingertips, pressing through the heel of the left foot. Lower that right hand, cross the left leg behind over the right. Keep your shoulders squared and then turn to look over the right shoulder. The right shoulder. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more full inhale and exhale. And then inhale that left leg back, come to tabletop. Puppy pose versus child's pose. So keep your hips over your knees. Walk your hands out to the top of your mat and take your arms wider than your shoulders. Spread your fingers.
So your arms are fully extended. I'm gonna now melt my heart down to the mat. Forehead coming down. The hips stay stacked over your knees. If you feel like you're sitting back, and then think about that feeling of melting heart. There you go. That's it. And then, yes. Yeah. So this pose really helps to open the whole upper thoracic area. Yeah. Breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhale, begin to lift up, walking the hands back under the shoulders. And then drop down to your forearms. Interlace your fingers. And then step one leg back and then the other. Hips are low. Forearm plank. So this might be a modification that you can do. Is that too much for the show? Yeah, oh good, okay, that looks beautiful. Breathing in and breathing out. Lower your hips just a little bit more, yeah. You can rock forward a little bit to lower, yeah. So good firing up of the core here. One more full inhale. And then on your exhale, come to the tops of your feet. Lower slowly, knees, thighs, hips. Place your forearms down, spread your fingers. Have your elbow directly under your shoulder. Wrap your hands around your arms to make sure that the distance is right. If you can't wrap your fingers around your upper arms, then bring the arms in a little bit more. Then you have the elbows out too wide. And then place your hands, your forearms onto the mat. Press into the tops of your feet. Lengthen down through your tailbone, pressing the pubic bone into the mat. Open across the heart space. This is Sphinx pose. Your gaze is looking straight ahead so that you're not lifting the neck too high. One more full breath. Feel this beautiful extension for our spine. Breathe in. And then lower down, bring the hands alongside your body by your lowest set of ribs. Tuck your toes under and push and lift your body so your seat comes back to your heels. Arms fully extended, and now with your toes tucked under, lift your knees up and your shins. Continue to straighten the legs, pushing the low belly toward the tops of the thighs. Feet can separate a little bit to be about hip distance apart. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Rock forward, look between your hands, lower your hips, come to plank pose. Inhale as you lift your hips, and exhale as you press the low belly back toward the thighs, downward facing dog. One more time like that. Inhale, come to plank pose. And then exhale, lift your hips to the ceiling. Arms are fully extended, downward facing dog. Lift your gaze and look between your hands. Walk one footprint at a time up to the top of your mat. Lift up halfway, finding a flat back. In finding a flat back, draw your shoulders back away from your ears. Pull the belly in. Lift your arms up shoulder height, making the shape of a T. Soften shoulders. Feel that stretch for the hamstrings. Feel that core engaged. Press into all four corners of your feet. Lift to standing. Bless you. Inhale, arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. So take a moment here in mountain pose. Check in with your feet. Make sure they're not too wide. You want them about hip distance apart. Toes facing forward. So if they're turned out a little bit, have the second toe facing forward. Rock onto the balls of your feet. Rock onto your heels, lifting your toes. Rock forward and rock back. And now ground down and root. Really feel all four corners of your feet. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, hinge at your hips. Take the arms out wide, coming into your forward fold, Uttanasana slowly. Inhale, lift up halfway, finding a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, take them out wide, hinging at the hips, float down into forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Building onto that, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, come into your forward fold. Inhale, come up to a flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and take the right leg all the way back for low lunge. Modify with blocks by placing them on either side of your left foot. In low lunge, we're looking for full extension in our right leg, our back leg. Our hips are low and we're forming a 90-degree angle. So use blocks on either side of the left foot. It'll really help. And then form a 90-degree angle with the left knee. Left knee, left ankle, drawing a straight line. Press through the right heel. If you're using blocks, lift the chest a little bit. Feel that opening. One more full breath. And then put the blocks off to the side. Plant your hands. Step the left leg back, plank pose. Lower your knees down. Turn the elbow creases to face the front of your mat. Bend the elbows, lowering your chest and chin down to the mat. Your sits bones, your hips are sticking up in the sky. And then inhale, slide onto the belly. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Lift the upper body while keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Cobra pose. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under. Push your seat back to your heels and lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Step one foot at a time up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway, and now we're going to move into the other side. Plant your hands, bend your knees, take the left leg back. So finding low lunge, grab your blocks, place them on either side of your right foot. If your right knee is coming forward past your toe, move it back still, or move that right foot forward. Focus here on getting full extension in the left leg. Beautiful. Heart lifted and open. One more full breath here in low lunge. Move the blocks to the side, plant your hands, step your right foot back, plank pose, lower your knees down. Elbow creases facing forward, bend your elbows, keep them hugging in. Don't let your elbows come out to the side. Hug them in, lower your chest and chin down. Look forward and slide forward onto the belly. Pressing up into cobra. Lowering down on your exhale, press back, seat to heels, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out 1. Breathe in, breathe out 2. Breathe in, breathe out 3. Breathe in, breathe out 4. Breathe in, breathe out 5. Look between your hands. Walk 1 footprint at a time to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Keep the fingers up. Interlace them. Index fingers pointing straight up. Root down through your feet. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale through center, side bend to the left. Inhale through center, side bend to the right. Inhale through center, side bend to the left. Come to center, take the arms out wide, dive forward into forward fold. Moving a little faster in this sun salutation. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step both feet back to plank. Lower your knees. Hug elbows in as you lower chin and chest down. Inhale, slide forward, and then pressing up into cobra on the inhale. Exhale, tuck your toes under. Push your seat back to your heels. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Hips are inching up to the ceiling. Gaze is looking back at your knees. Neck is soft. Arms, feel that extension in your spine. Look between your hands. Walk your feet up or lightly hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring your hands to your hips. Put a little bend in your knees. Spread your toes. So your knees are a little bent here. Look straight ahead. Find a drishti to focus on, and then put weight in your left foot. Lift your right foot off the mat. Sweep that right foot behind you. Come on your right toes, right heel lifted, left knee bending toward a 90-degree angle. And now drop that right heel down, right toes pointing to about 3 o'clock. Float the arms up, warrior 1. Breathe in, breathe out. So just like in our low lunge, we're feeling a full extension in the right leg right now. The right toes pointing at an angle, and we're standing on 2 different planks of wood. Shoulders soft. Gaze straight ahead, looking at one focal point, almost where your vision feels a little blurred. Feeling that inner strength of the warrior pose. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back, moving through a vinyasa. So we're in plank pose. So those who know chaturanga have worked on it with me, lower down or keep it at knees, chest, chin. Moving through to upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale. We all meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift your gaze, look between your hands, either lightly hop to the top of your mat or walk your feet up. Lift up halfway and exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause here, close your eyes, take a full inhale. It's the audible sigh. Other side, hands come to the hips. Find that focal point again in front of you. Bend your knees, put weight in your right foot and lift your left off the mat. So find your balance first. Now sweep that left leg behind. Left heel is lifted. So finding crescent lunge to start. And now drop that left heel down. So your feet are still on 2 different planks of wood. Your hips are facing forward. Right knee moving toward a 90-degree angle. Draw the belly in as you float the arms up. Keeping your gaze on that one focal point. Feeling your breath rise and fall. Feeling strong in this stance, in this pose. Feeling your breath move through your body, moving our prana, our life force. One more full inhale. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back to plank. Moving through a vinyasa of your choice, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, or child's pose, or you can just press back to downward facing dog. Skipping the vinyasa altogether. We all meet in downward facing dog. Step your left foot toward the center a little bit, and then inhale your right leg up, three-legged dog. Lift it up a little higher, maybe come up on your left toes. Really lifting that right leg. Feeling that full extension. And now bend your right knee and lift the right knee up toward the ceiling, opening that right hip. Maybe take your heel to your glutes a couple times. And then lower that right leg down. Back to downward facing dog. Move the right foot in toward center a little bit. Lift the left leg up. Still keeping your shoulders squared. And now bend that left knee, lift the left knee up, opening that hip. Maybe kick your butt a couple times. Nothing like Will Smith's sock to Chris Rock last night, but you know, you could be gentle with kicking yourself. Lower that left leg. Everybody take your knees to the mat. Push your seat back to your heels. Wrap your arms around the legs. So more of a rounded child pose. Surrender. Breathe in. And breathe out. Maybe give your feet a little massage. Feel the breath open the back of the neck. As you take your next inhale, begin to round up to where you're sitting on your heels. If this is too intense for anyone's knees, Slide a block under your seat. Slide the block in between your ankles. You can slide 2 blocks if you need to sit up. And then flip the arms up in front of you. Draw the shoulders back into the sockets. Cross right elbow under left. Bend at the elbows, really hooking the elbows together. Backs of the hands touch. Or maybe wrap where the palms, the fingers and the palms touch. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. Draw your belly in. Inhale, lift the elbows up, gaze looks up. Exhale, lower the arms, chin to chest, round the back. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lower down. And then come back to center, release the arms, let them fly out, really open across the chest. And relax and roll out your shoulders. Roll them the other way. Lifting them back up in front of you. Draw the shoulders back into the sockets. Cross left elbow under right this time. Bend at the elbows. Wrap. Draw your shoulder blades toward each other. Down the back. Inhale, lift the elbows, lift the gaze, draw the belly in. And then exhale, lower the arms, round the back. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale, coming back to neutral. And once again, let the arms fly. Open the chest. Rock forward. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips. Step into downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Either lightly hop or step your feet forward. Coming to the top of your mat. Lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana. Grab your block, place it on the outside of your left foot. So inviting a little eagle into our practice this morning. So we just did the arms. So the legs we wrap similarly, but we sit as we wrap. So that motion, take your hands to your hips, bend your knees a little bit, feel that little bit of movement. Put weight in your left foot, lift your right, lift it a little higher to 90 degrees, shift that right knee over to the left, and then wrap. Toes come onto the block. Sit a little bit lower. Draw your belly in. Arms float up. Right elbow under left. Bend at the elbows. You might have created a little bit more space this time for the arms to wrap. Gaze is looking forward. Maybe sit a little bit lower. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Let everything release. And come back to Tadasana. Close your eyes for a moment, standing here in Tadasana, and just think about this pose. So eagle pose ties into a mythical story about a bird called Garuda. Mythical creature that starts very, very small, and with its strength then opens and expands. So we're just like that spiritual being. When we're in eagle pose,
We're pulling everything in. We're moving in a direction that maybe is not very comfortable, but then the reward is opening and expanding. Open the eyes, put the block on the other side. So on the side of your right foot. Bend your knees a little bit. Hands to hips, put weight in your right foot, lifting that left knee. 90 degrees, shift it over to the right, then thigh to thigh. Left toes come onto the block. Arms float up, left elbow under right. Bend at the elbows, wrapping. Draw shoulder blades toward each other and down the back, and maybe sink a little lower in your seat. Fix your gaze on a focal point. Draw the belly in. Inhale, straighten the leg. Fly your eagle. Amazing how different that other side is. Find Tadasana, top of the mat. Inhale, flip the arms overhead. And exhale, lower down, Uttanasana for 5 breaths. Bodies are warm now. We've created conditions for a greater release of tension. Hamstrings are warm. Allow the head to hang. Breathing into the back of the neck. Let your awareness do a body scan. See where you can soften, where you can release even more. And begin to slowly bend your knees, bringing your seat down towards your heels, and then down to the mat. And then bringing your back onto the mat, grab your block. Setting up for bridge pose, our back bend this morning. So take your block at the thinnest and place it in between your thighs, as close to your pelvis as you can, to your pubic bone. Feet are grounded on the mat, and then reach your fingers towards your heels. If you can't feel the back of your heel, walk your feet closer to your sit bones. And then palms face down on the mat, arms away from the body a little bit. On an inhale, press into your feet, thighs engage around the block, lift your hips. Keep your gaze and your nose facing the ceiling. Maybe you feel the chin lift a little bit to make sure that there's a little bit of space between your neck and the mat. So you're pressing into the back of the head a little bit, into your shoulder blades. Using all your muscles evenly. 2 more full breaths here. Use your exhale to lift your hips just a little bit higher. And then everybody lower on your exhale, 1 vertebrae at a time. If you are tucking your shoulders under, make sure you release the shoulders before you roll down. So 1 more bridge, just like that. Press into your feet. Press your thighs against the mat. Lift your hips up. So the block helps us to not flare our knees out to the side. We want to maintain the alignment of our hips, our knees with our hips. Breathe in.
Breathe out, feeling the rise and fall of the belly. Peg, move your feet a little closer together. Yep, Peg at home. She's online. Beautiful. If you tuck your shoulders under, untuck them, everybody slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, removing the block and then hugging your knees into your chest. Lift your forehead up to your knees. Breathe into the back of the neck. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Let the head come down to the mat. Let the arms come out to the sides, in line with your shoulders. Your palms are facing up. Let the knees drop down to the left, keeping them drawn in so your knees are in line with your belly. Revolved abdomen twist. If you have a lot of tightness in your low back, putting a block between your thighs really helps. Your gaze can either stay looking up or turn your head and look over your right arm. Breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Right shoulder melting toward the mat. Breathe in, breathe out. One more full inhale. See where you can soften just a little bit more. On your inhale, engage your core to help lift your knees to center. Find neutral. And then we'll lower the knees over to the right. So your knees are in line with your navel. Your legs are making an L shape. And again, if your low back is talking to you, placing a block in between the thighs really helps. Beautiful. Breathe in, breathe out. So our twists, if we have them be from the navel up, we're helping to protect our low back. One more full inhale and exhale. Lift your knees back to center using your core. Bring your hands underneath your knees and we're gonna rock up to a seat. So start slowly, at least 3 times, forward and back, massage out the spine, get enough momentum, and bring yourself up to a seat. Have your feet on the mat in front of you. Feel your sit bones, really sitting up on your sit bones. Bring your hands in front of the knees and begin to lean back. Keep your chest lifting. Lean back, keeping the feet grounded. At that point that you feel that engagement in the belly, now lift one foot. Then the other, maybe hands come underneath the knees or out to the sides, maybe legs straighten. Navasana, boat pose. Chest lifting. One more full breath. It's normal to shake. And then lower the feet. Take them wide. Hands come to knees. Bring your chest through. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, bring the chest through. And exhale, round the spine. And then lift up, slide the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Wrap the hands around the feet, sit up nice and tall. Sitting up on the sit bones. Close the eyes. 5 full breaths. So option to just really stay lifted here, lengthening the spine, feeling the breath help you lift up out of the sit bones. Or maybe on your exhale, hinge a little forward, but keeping that length in your spine. Relax shoulders. And inhale, coming back to neutral. Slide one hand, one arm under your right calf, left hand under, bring your index finger and your thumb to touch, 3rd, 4th, 5th fingers. And then on an inhale, here we go. Lift up, resting on your sit bones. This is called blossoming lotus. When's the last time you've done this? Take your toes out, but keep your heels together. Lift your chest. Beautiful. Close your eyes. Picture that beautiful lotus flower. If you haven't been to our botanical gardens here in town, I highly recommend it. And there are these beautiful lotus flowers in the water feature. And slowly lower down. Release the arms, take the legs out in front of you, straight out in front of you. Flex your feet, your toes. Inhale, arms up. Paschimottanasana, hinging forward, lead with your heart. Close the eyes, 5 full deep breaths. Our forward folds help our whole nervous system to relax, to release tension, to help us moderate our fight and flight mode. Feel your sit bones rooting down as your spine lengthens. One more full deep breath. And then inhale to lift up, lowering slowly. So begin to round, bless you. Lower slowly to your back. Bend your knees toward the ceiling. Walk your feet out as wide as the edges of your mat, keeping your knees falling toward each other. If they're not touching, that's okay, but make sure your feet are as wide as your mat. Have your belly, your hands come to your belly. And then slide one hand up to your heart space, leaving one at your belly. Moving into a constructive rest pose here. Focus on feeling the rise and fall of your breath. Making your inhales match your exhales. Close the eyes. Tune into your breath. Relax your arms. You can keep your hands on your belly or let it fall to either side of your body. Letting yourself come present. Present into the body. Present in the moment. Not leaning forward into the next moment or leaning backward into the last moment, but just here. Feel the big brow muscle. If it's a little tight, let it soften. Feel all the muscles around the eyes. And see if you can let those muscles soften a little bit so your eye sockets feel soft. Notice your jaw. Try letting the lips part and the tongue be soft. The shoulders are relaxed and the arms feel relaxed and heavy. All the way down to the hands. Feel your back fully being supported by the earth. Feel the softness of your belly and inner groin muscles. And no effort in having the legs be bent. Getting a sense of the whole body as one, unified, a pulsing organism. Expanding on your in-breath, releasing on your out-breath. Focusing more on the exhale so that with each out-breath, you feel a little softer. Now, once again, let the breath begin to deepen. Take in a deep breath, let it out with an audible sigh. Invite small movements back in. Maybe move the jaw around a little bit. Wiggling fingers, circling wrists, wiggling toes, circling ankles. Maybe inhale the arms overhead for a long stretch, straightening the legs out onto the mat.
And then drawing knees into chest. Deepening the breath. Rolling onto your right side, extend the right arm out, supporting your head. Couple breaths here. Lifting up to a seated position. Keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze. Keeping yourself in this present moment, bringing your hands to heart center. Take a moment to recall your intention and then thank yourself for coming onto your mat this morning, for having the courage. Courage is an important value that helps us in so many ways. So it takes courage to come onto your mat, to breathe more deeply. So fill yourself with some gratitude right now. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Let's Om together to seal the practice. Take a full inhale, exhale it out. And then inhale. Om. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Happy Monday. The last week of March already. Enjoy this gorgeous weather. We've been blessed with some low humidity again. And Peggy and Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I know. It's like I just come to know that it's our time. You know? No matter, even if I say it at the start of the class. So I just it's a good way to practice not being distracted. So yeah. I know. And then you're practicing that, just letting it go. Yeah. Is Sue here tomorrow? So just remember tomorrow, if you want more yoga, Sue is teaching at 9:30. And it's a little different yoga. It's called Chi Yoga, where she does some energy release work along with some asana practice. So that's at 9:30 for an hour. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome.